Hello, everybody. This is Maria Windtalker from Barefoot Holistics with you in mind, a weekly chats that we've been doing this week with well-respected therapists and light workers. Hang on. And today we've got Kalyani Mukti. Namaste, Kalyani. Welcome.
Namaste, Maria.
My beautiful friend who now lives in France but lived in the UK when we first met. Yes, can't wait to get to see your place. So Kalyani leads people to awaken to the fullness of who they are, going beyond past wounds and traumas, which we all need to do this. And she'll be showing us, I wrote it down, I can't read it. She'll be sharing with us today the inner union. I'm sorry, I put soul union. The inner union approach that Kalyani and a partner has developed between them.
I thought that was lovely. It was, so it's all meant to be. It's, a lot of my previous branding was so divine. So I went, yeah, she's just bringing the two together.
Yeah. Oh well, sorry. I can change it if you want me to on the video.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay. I forgot to say to you, if you get your mobile phone and turn it on silent and go onto the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the comments. We figured that out the other day.
So I click on the link you've given me.
On the YouTube, yeah. So we've got Simone and George in so far. Welcome, guys. Thank you for supporting us all this week. So Kalyani, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to do what you're doing.
Sure. So I've been working on myself for about 20 years now, and it started with me being pregnant with my first daughter. And would you believe it, Maria? I was a high corporate executive businesswoman. Can you see me with that?
No, you know it's weird because we've got 3 people on this week that have come from the corporate world.
Yeah, and I was very much in the mental, and being pregnant really brought me to coming back to my body. And it was a deep awakening to a whole part of myself that I had ignored, that I had not been encouraged to look after, but that was waking up and was really calling for my attention. So I went and did my first foray in love in that was aromatherapy.
Yeah.
So, very close to your herbalism as well, because there is so much goodness in nature if we stop and listen and tune in with that. And then I explored massage to really connect with the touch and the body, and that led me to really seeing that there were trauma or memories that were still stuck in the body of my clients, and I wasn't sure how to be able to deal with them. And then I went on to train into energy healing from that, and I explored Tantra as well, because Tantra is not just sexuality, it's a deep, intimate connection with ourselves. But I could see how sexuality holds the keys to a lot of our subconscious.
Kalyani, can I just interrupt you one moment? Can you try and keep still, because when you move it's breaking?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sorry. French person, because we like to use our hands.
I know. I usually twiddle the
pen. So exploring sexuality as a key to things that are held in our subconscious, and having the courage and the willingness to go and face those shadows. Because if not, we are the puppets of them. Yeah. So it's important to not block them away, but it's important to approach them with respect and to do the work. And then that led me to a whole new aspect, which was the totality therapy training I did with Dr. Shakti Malan. That was a long training, very complete. And then I went on apprenticing with her, and I completed my apprenticeship. And then very sadly, she died. So I decided at that moment that from all that I had learned, it was time for me to bring my own take, if you want, on what I was willing to offer. And Nick, my partner, has very much done his own journey. He's 10 years older than me. So he's been on his own path of self-exploration for 30 years. And he comes from the Taoist perspective, the energy flow, the Qigong, and we complement each other well, professionally as well as in love. And we decided that inner union was a good brand for what we wanted to develop, because at the end of the day, everything has to come back to ourselves.
Yes.
It's so easy, you know, everybody, as soon as we feel a bit of uncomfort, we want to push it out. Sorry, I'm moving again. To the other.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
We want to push it to the other. You making me feel that way. I am the one responsible for my feelings, my reactions, my emotions. So if I start to find that place of alignment within myself, of deep union between what I call our sacred masculine and our divine feminine. So I'm all I can be from my masculine inside of me, even though I'm a woman. I'm all I can be from my feminine. And then those two parts of me inside of me are cooperating. They are making me feel whole. And at times I might be very much acting from my feminine, other times from my masculine. But they are in that union and that dance constantly. So the intimacy keeps building up. And for me, the outcome outside of us, when that's the case, is that our life starts to reflect that inner union. So it becomes a lot more fluid and a lot about, for me, it has been about manifesting my dream, which was about coming back to France and having this place here in the south of France for retreats, our own retreats, but also for opening it to other people, and to have it as a place, as a B&B where people come to rest deeply. So there's no telly.
No.
We're in the middle of nature.
I've not had a TV for 3 years.
Yeah, there is so much that is fed to us through the media, and instead it's important for me from that inner union to be discerning about what resonates with me, what doesn't. So that's why the things you are offering, these discussions with people, is about growing the perspective from people so that everybody can make their own mind.
Yes.
That what is right, what is resonating with each of us.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, these talks have they've surpassed my expectations, to be honest. And, you know, I found it really interesting to see people's reactions as well. So I'm super grateful for everybody that's been on. And what you talked about just there, I can't remember whose talk it was the other day, but we was talking about that, the male, the female union and balance.
It was Dan, I think Dan touched on it when I was listening.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. So I love the synchronicities and, you know, and everybody's on the same page. So if you've got any friends, invite them to the video chat as well. And guys, a little surprise for today. I wasn't expecting this. I didn't know about it. But Kalyani's got crystal bowls, crystal singing bowls that she's going to be playing for us later, which is pretty amazing because yesterday, I don't know if you know this, Kalyani, but yesterday was
No.
supposed to be a couple doing sound healing, but they
Okay.
were ill and had to cancel last minute. So that's really kind of, I just love how the universe works.
Again, coming into, there might have been a little bit of that sound healing that needed to be part of the mix of what you offer this week.
Yeah,
And it was like,
yeah.
yeah.
It's brilliant. It's just, I just love it. It's just magic. um, so if anybody has any questions for Kelly, sorry, Kellyanne, had you finished explaining?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't get the thing on my phone, so you'll just have to tell me to read me the
okay.
comments. That'd be easier. I don't
Okay.
want to be fussing about on that.
We've got 4 people in. We've got Tolas, got Tolas, George, and Simone. I can't see who the other one is. It's not showing me anybody else. Everyone's just saying hello, hello. Simone says, "Yeah, love it."
Already.
yeah, love it. Yeah, Simone's there. She'd love Simone. So, what would you like to share with us today? Any exercises other than the crystal bowls, or is there anything else you'd like to discuss? Because obviously, what you do, sorry, I keep calling it soul union. It's not soul union, is it?
It's inner union.
Inner union, inner union. Um, Obviously, I don't know much about this. It's your creation, and I love that. So I'll just leave
So,
it to you. What
I'm
you'd
not,
like to do today?
it's my take on everything I've learned. So
Yeah,
that how can I offer that? Because you know very well that at the end of the day, people come to you because of you. They don't come
yeah,
because of what is it you're offering. If they feel that resonance with you,
yeah,
you could be having any practice, they will still want to work with you. But the inner union for me is a way of explaining to people how the work, even though they have born an agenda, is about making peace with all the parts of them.
yeah,
And that war between the sexes that we have witnessed for so long is coming to an end, it's changing. Um, and I must say, I've seen mostly women doing the work, so I deeply encourage men to do the work too. But for me, when a woman, very often what's been the case in the people, women who have been my clients, is they've like me, they came from a very masculine place, and then they realize that part of themselves is actually, I don't know, they feel incomplete. They reach a point in their life and they go, why? Is there more to life than this?
yeah,
And it's that lack of resonance with themselves. So they explore the part of themselves that they've ignored for so long. And some of it might be part of their inner feminine. So that could be having ignored their intuition, having ignored their capacity to be deeply tuned in with their environment,
yeah,
acting from a place of love. The feminine is very deeply caring. The feminine is deeply in our hearts,
yeah,
or being able to be creative. And all those aspects that they've ignored comes knocking on the door. Or it could be women who have done a lot of the feminine work. Some of the women who come with me have done the courses on, reclaiming your feminine, awakening your feminine, and they are there. They feel it's the case,
yeah,
but they feel stuck. How to say? They feel stuck in taking themselves to the next level of their power and who they are.
Yeah.
And I don't mean their power as in a power over. I'm meaning the true power of every being that is our birthright, which is to be who we are fully on earth.
Yeah.
Very often for those women, there are some aspects on the masculine that they're still having to look at.
Yes.
And it
Can
may be
everybody
a
hear Kalyani okay? Because at my end, you're breaking up a lot here. It keeps going a bit Dalek-y. Can everybody hear Kalyani okay out there? Yes, no, answers would be cool. Hello? I can't see any comments. Okay.
they might come.
Yeah,
So
you keep going in and out and drifting. The sound. The sound keeps going in and out.
yeah.
Okay.
So the masculine, in his capacity, is there to really provide a safe space for everything. So the masculine creates what I call the vessel within which we can be and within which the feminine can blossom.
Okay.
And he's also the one that helps us manifest things firmly around us. So he's the one that loves to plan, to deliver on budget, efficiently. He loves being efficient. There's a kind of mastery of the skills.
Yes. Left. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi,
And
Kathy.
but the masculine needs the directives, the
Yeah.
direction from the feminine to create something that is of true purpose in our life and to us. So in this period of confinement, um, what I know is that we are each going to be confronted to aspects of us that are uncomfortable. So my invitation is for everyone to not just be into the occupying yourself to forget about what's happening, but view it as a period of self-retreat.
Yes.
So that you say, okay, what's the gap between my life, how it is today or pre-confinement, and how I dream it? And what is it that I want to put into place to change that?
Kathy's asking, is this accepting the masculine and feminine within ourselves?
Yes,
Yeah.
because often what I realize working with my clients and they see it for themselves is that within them, their inner masculine and their inner feminine, I'm not going to say as much as are at war still, but they certainly are keeping their distance.
Yeah.
There is very little trust on either side.
Yeah.
The masculine will look at her and go, "What are you up to now?" And him and will go, "Oh, just grow up, or just can't you see things that need doing?"
Yeah.
And they need to be that start of something where they start going towards each other to meet each other. And just like we do with any friend,
Yeah.
we meet each other and little by little the trust builds and
Yeah.
we will reveal more. Because at the end of the day, what happens is the masculine and the feminine are very afraid to reveal their own vulnerability to the other.
Yeah, especially when it's been abused in the past. When they've shown that to somebody and then they've used that as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you turn it round, the woman who has been abused in the past will not trust her masculine, because at that time of the abuse, her masculine, who was here to protect her too, let her down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a big healing that takes place into understanding why her masculine acted in that way. Hearing him out, and then coming to a place of forgiveness. Forgiveness is so important in a lot of healing aspects, so that they can move forward. We can't change our inner masculine and our inner feminine. We can't. So we're going to have to work it out.
Forgiveness is key for everything. Well, absolutely everything. And I think forgiveness, a lot of people think it's like giving the other person not permission, but like a get out of jail free card, if you know what I mean. But it's not about that.
No, the forgiveness is very much learning from the experience and strengthening our barriers, so that we know when to put them in place, when to release them, and knowing where other people we meet, where they stand. That work with clients, I go within, our core intimate circle, our family circle. If some family is not in that intimate place, the family circle, the friends, and then people we come across every now and then the rest. But some people like to put themselves actually where they don't belong, and we let them. So those healthy boundaries.
Yeah, I think boundaries. You're breaking up, Kalyani.
Having healthy boundaries.
Losing you. Yeah, having healthy boundaries. It's interesting that you've just said that again. Synchronicity. Tolas is online, and it's just a couple of weeks ago before the lockdown, and we had this conversation with Tolas about the inner circle and outer circles and boundaries and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The universe will test us as well.
Yes.
To check we've got the lessons, but to be able to move on, you have to forgive at some point on that journey.
Yes. Simone's saying, could it be also using too much of one, like feminine, and blocking the masculine, so creating unbalanced issues?
Yes. When there is too much of one aspect and not enough of the other, it's like we start to be skewed and we keep growing in that skewed direction.
Yeah.
And the one, usually the aspect of us that is the most prominent, doesn't want to change. Doesn't want to go. So we have to really have words with that part to say, okay, can you see, is this serving us to be like that in life? Are we going to keep going until break point? No. And then, so that, at the end of the day, we want to grow in harmony from those two parts.
Yes.
And if one is prominent over and over, it will not serve us in the long term. However much that part is believing. So
interestingly, on this topic that Simone just mentioned now, I think I find, myself included here, Kalyani, is when you've been a single parent, like my daughter was 6, I raised her from 6-year-old on my own, you tend to find that you have to be both parties. And, and at some point, one side overtakes the other. So, you have to be father and mother the balance can really get messed up at some points, you know, where you're trying to be authoritarian, but you're trying to be compassionate. That was really hard for me with my daughter growing up. We had so many battles. And
Yeah.
I'm sure anybody else on here who's a single parent, like Kathy, would understand that. So it'd be interesting to find what you'd say to somebody in that situation. I mean, my daughter's married and grown now, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What I would say is, what does that mean? Is there any relevance for you to work on your own inner child and becoming your own inner parent to that inner child? Does that resonate?
Yeah. We talked about this as well this week. I love the synchronicity. It's amazing. But it's the lessons people need to learn and reiterate, if that's the right word. Yeah.
And even with your, because I know there's more and more single parents, and so I'll speak as the woman, and I have 2 children. Wasn't a single parent, but I can see how, you know, there's the 2 aspects. Sometimes the good guy, the bad guy, in deal with the children. And as a single parent, you can say to them, okay, I have a masculine role that I need to be with you. You're not going to say it to a young child like that, but you can say, okay, like, create a part of you that they know you are acting from.
Yes.
And they know that you are, when you are more directive, and they have to listen, and it's important for them and for their own safety. You know, there's no messing there. It's on. And then at other times when you act from that more fluid, open, creative. I was going to say loving. It's not that the masculine part is less loving, but it's masculine.
Can you repeat that, please, Kalyani?
It's not that the masculine is less loving. He's loving in his own way.
Yeah.
And so that the child recognizes when you are acting from your feminine or in a certain way, and when you are acting from that other part of you.
Yes.
And then they start to healthily. They develop that healthy awareness of that themselves.
Yeah, instead of hating you for being a tough mum. Yeah. Kathy says she feels that when women go through difficult relationships, they can also embrace a masculine like armour and lose their feminine side.
Yeah, totally. They can be the feminine that has been hurt, that just shuts up and locks away the key. Gone. I'm not going to let anybody hurt me ever again.
Yeah. Doesn't work though.
That is really tough on ourselves, because that feminine needs to do the grieving of what's happened or not happened. Letting go of the dreams of that relationship. And then come to a place of acknowledgement. Okay, this is not going to happen again. I am not going to let that happen to me. There was some issues with the partner. And moving forward, calling to ourselves that love. I did a retreat here for New Year. We had 8 French people who came over 3 days. It was lovely, but we called that retreat Daring to Love, because and it was really about encouraging people to let go of their barriers, their restrictions, towards opening to what life wants to open.
You're breaking up, say again.
It's about encouraging people to open to what life wants to bring to us.
Yes. Yeah, I think I might need to come and do that one. I've been single for so long. But yeah. So Simone's saying, so basically is when awareness kicks in, that's when we manage to flow both ways, because it helps with stretching comfort zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say awareness is a first step to change. So you can react more consciously.
Yeah.
And you can start reacting in your same old way, but then you realize and you go, okay. Is that how I want to react this time? If it's relevant, yes. Or do I want to choose a different way of thinking?
Yeah. It's the same, you know, if you keep repeating the same pattern, nothing's going to change, is it? But most people don't realise what it is they need to change, you know, what they need to do to change.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the key to it, isn't it? It's recognising what it is you need to change.
Yeah. It's often about sensing what is the part of us that is hurting,
Yes,
that is
absolutely.
demanding attention, that is demanding love. The
Yeah.
part of us inside that's longing for love.
And what I find with my clients, 9 times out of 10, it always goes back to the inner child.
Mm-hmm.
Even with people that have had on the outside what looks like the perfect life, you know, they might have come from a good family and you know, never had any lack or anything like that. And they've had big friendship circles, they play sports, they do this, they do that. But even from the best of the best, the inner child still seems to have issues. So, you
Yeah.
know, and I don't
And
know whether that's the human ego wanting more or expecting more or what, but
for me,
I find
Maria, it's when when we are a child, we can only grow emotionally to the level of emotional intelligence of our parents.
that's true. Yes, that's true.
So, you know, we can only teach as adults our children what we know ourselves.
Yes. I mean, I tell my clients that, you know, that their parents have had their own issues too. And we need,
Mm.
as adults now, we need to recognise that, you know,
Yeah.
and to facilitate the forgiveness, you know.
Yeah.
But for an example, my mum was abused violently, horrifically, for 13 years, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And although my mum is my inner child, she was a good mum, but she had issues what she put on to me. You know, and I hated her for it for a lot of years until I did my inner child work and went, oh, yeah, I see
Mm.
that now. You know, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
forgive you. You know, I love you. Um, and I think that is a big step, is recognising the parents have had their own childhood issues that
Yeah.
they've grown up with.
And the period we are at this moment on Earth, there is a lot of healing happening around the family lines,
Yes,
because we are a lot more aware, and we are, you know, at this generation we are now a lot more willing to face the uncomfortability.
yes,
And I'm sure you've mentioned it before, but when we heal something on a family line, it's a little bit like you have an elastic. The elastic is the issue energetically, and it's with me, it's with my mother, my grandmother, her mother, her grandmother, for 7 generations. When I do the healing and it is complete, that elastic releases all of them on that line.
Yeah.
So we're at the front line. We might be doing the work. It might feel hard at times, but it's a very powerful work that needs to be done. And we don't transfer it on to our children.
Exactly. That's why I like the right of the womb so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut it off, let it go, start a new cycle.
Yeah.
Let me just read these for you. George says, "Oh, it's not. I don't really think it's that simple, George." But George says it's a lack of compassion which causes the problems we face. I think that's part of the issue.
Before I came here for the confinement, I was in England and I had to choose where I wanted to be. And I felt really called to be here. And I pulled a card about, okay, what is the energy of the coming month? And I got compassion.
Yeah. Now, or when you were moving. Yeah.
For coming here for I asked about a card for the energy of the next 3 months. Because we're going to have to be compassionate with ourselves. There's a lot of things that are our old life pre-confinement. I'm not sure we are going to be able to just go back straight to it. Things are going to be things are going to be impacted, and we are called right now to become a lot more conscious.
Yeah.
To look inside at our muck and do some work, do some clearing. So we have to be compassionate with ourselves, and we have to be compassionate with seeing the work that other people should be doing, and it will be their choice to do it or not.
Yes, well, we can't force people, you know. But compassion is a basic human emotion, which some people have somehow managed to just turn it off. I don't really, you know. But yeah, compassion. Let's see where we are now. Tolas says, while having the sensibility, respect, and delicacy to let the freedom of another be in mutual, wholesome connection, we are expecting the same back while giving kindness from the start. Wow.
Yeah. And then in that level of approach and connection to another, we can be in relation with them, in relating with them, that they are our partners or just somebody we meet in the street, but from a place of curiosity, exploration, discovery, as opposed to a place of neediness or a place of hiding ourselves. But the confinement is bringing us to sense those places in us that are uncomfortable.
Yes.
So you asked me about 3 tips that I would give people at this time. I think maybe it'd be a good time to share them now.
And usually I do it at the end, actually, as a last thing.
So
do you want to share it now?
I'm happy to share it at the end, but it will be relevant to what we've just said.
Okay, go on then.
Do it at the end.
You don't mind mixing things up.
Well, it's in order to have more courage to go and face the turmoil within us.
Yeah.
For me, a really important thing is to create more stability around us. And right now, there seems to be a lot of chaos in the world around us. But it doesn't mean that we can't nurture a sense of stability around us.
Yeah.
So for that stability, what I encourage everyone to do is to find a stillness meditative practice. And the word stillness is important. So it's not one where you engage in the flow. I'm saying a stillness one because it needs to be a masculine practice. So it's that. And it's to create what I referred to at the beginning, which was that vessel of safety that the masculine is able to hold for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're calling our masculine to be that bumper zone from between us and everything that's going on that we are part of, but we also have to be here for ourselves.
Yeah.
And stillness practice will help cultivate that capacity within our inner masculine.
Yeah.
The second tip is more for the feminine. So this first tip is for the masculine and the second one is for the feminine, which was the feminine loves to feel everything and be in flow and experience life, but I want to encourage you to experience joy. So how can you maybe find ways of experiencing joy within our confinement? So it could be, it's springtime here in Europe, so I had a lot of joy witnessing the bees coming up on all the flowers in the garden here. It's a Mediterranean garden. There's lots of rosemary in flower, and they're just beautiful, or on the dandelion flowers. It could be putting some music on that you love and moving with dancing as if nobody is watching.
Absolutely.
And things, and you will feel your heart just go, and the feminine will be nourished in that way.
Yes.
And then, do you want me to tell the third tip, or do you want me to keep that one to the end?
That's up to you. You can keep that till the end. Let's just answer some of these questions before we move on. I said that one. Simone said, I've seen how my mother approached my growth, was more on how she observed my individual needs and used her knowledge only to what suits my growth, something that I found to be very unique. Yeah, you've got a very special mum.
Very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. George says he's an empath and most times he feels emotional because he feels what other people do. Tolas, not in the sense of expecting exactly, but better feeling honestly comfortable to let go and be when appraising the points given in relevance to the essence and for the naturality of the matter, question mark. I don't know what it means.
Could you rephrase the question?
Yeah, could you rephrase it, Tolas? I think he's referring back to his previous one, which was about blah blah blah. Let me scroll back. Can't find it. Hang on. What
While
is
you
it?
do that, I will say something to George.
Yes,
To say, um, as an empath, it's beautiful to be able to feel everything from the other. And then you choose how you deal with it. So you can feel everything, but you don't have to hang on to it, or you don't have to react to it. You don't have to make them better. You can let them know that you are here for them if they want the support.
yes,
It's almost like you let everything pass through you because there will always be more.
yeah,
And it's very
yeah,
important also as an empath to know what is yours and what is from the other, so you can look after yourself well.
yes. Yeah, I think I know when I was younger, I used to struggle a lot with that. Um,
Mhm.
uh, but yeah, deciphering. I mean, in this line of work as well, you have to have good uh, barriers with it because otherwise you're going to be taking on everybody's stuff, and you're
Yeah,
counselling people, even if it's just friends, and and you've probably been the same. But as a child, I'd get on the bus to go to school, and I'd always have the homeless person come and sit next to me and tell me the life story, you know. Like, so you have to learn at a very young age to be empathic, but not
yeah,
immerse yourself into it,
yeah.
because otherwise it's going to destroy you.
Because you can be empathic and loving.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the point of it.
If you have that boundary again, because sometimes people, the more you are willing to take on stuff, the more they're willing to dump on you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, and you haven't noticed anything, and suddenly, so it's like, but if you suddenly say, not anymore,
Yeah, yeah,
it's amazing how these people can go, oh, okay then, and then move on, and you go, I should have done that years ago.
yeah, yeah. And the other thing as well is doing protection. Putting a psychic bubble, psychic shield, however you want to describe it, around yourself, which allows you to interact but not absorb.
Yeah, yeah, and to
Yeah,
replenish it daily.
yeah,
It's nice to start with a new one daily. And
yes,
being out in nature, that
grounding.
will help it. Um, because we are so much energy body. We're not just, the
Flesh.
physical is just a tiny little aspect of us.
I call it a meat suit. People laugh when I say that, but I call it my meat suit. I am not this body.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just my vehicle.
yeah. It's just the envelope.
Yeah,
Um, it's important. Our soul has chosen to be here for a reason,
yeah,
for us to experience and learn and hopefully grow our vibration and our soul level.
yeah.
So it's not about ignoring or pushing the body away. It's
No.
really important to be embodied, but to
Well,
be in
yeah.
alignment.
You've got to keep the vehicle maintained. You don't drive a car without MOT in it and putting petrol in it. You know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to last 2 minutes. So you have to maintain the vehicle, whether
And
you like the vehicle.
how many people do we know, Maria, who never spend any investment on their own self growth?
No, I know, I know. Well, to be fair, most of my friends are all spiritual now, but over here, obviously,
Mhm.
in a different society, and You know, I've got friends here that I've known for years, but they're not, I wouldn't call them not spiritual, to be honest, but
Mm-hmm.
not in the sense that we are, you know, the churchgoers, the kind, the loving, the empathic, and all that kind of stuff. But they think I'm doolally, you know.
You invite them to the next level, and yeah,
Yeah. Simone says healing can be enough by listening. No need always to merge in the problem someone goes through. Many times I got people say their life stories in less than 10 minutes. Yes. Awareness is the key. Yeah.
yeah. Many people are longing to be heard, deeply
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah, yeah. I think we have an innate thing within us of being recognised. I don't mean that in a like, oh, I want to be famous way. Of being seen rather, not recognised. Of being seen.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
and
Especially
that,
people,
yeah,
especially people in big families. I find it as well because they get lost in that
yeah,
family dynamic.
and that is what is there to be seen does change moment to moment.
Yes.
So it's being seen in our fullness of who we are moment by moment, in our truth, um, without expectations.
Yes.
For instance, when um, when we meet somebody that we haven't seen physically for a long time and we haven't really connected with them, the our inner expectation, unconscious, is that we remember them how we remembered them last time,
It's true.
and we want to meet them with that mold.
It's
But
true.
by that time, there's somebody totally different.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
being open to see them.
It's really strange because over the years, obviously coming back and forth to Cyprus, uh,
Mm-hmm.
before my family still spoke to me, obviously, but you know, three of my cousins are practically raised myself, and now they're married with their own kids, and coming back because when I was in England, we never really interacted, so in your head they're still 6 years old,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
come back and they're married with their own homes and the children, and it's quite a shock to your system, even though you know logically that that's the
yeah.
natural process. I found that really strange when I came back. It was like, whoa.
So, catching yourself with that memory you have of them and wanting to meet that in the person and then saying,
Yeah,
but I also acknowledge and see you in who you are now.
yes, yes, obviously, yes. Um, Kathy says people don't always want to be invisible, and I have a lot of work to do, but I have a good teacher. Thanks, mate. Well, I'm not your only teacher, Kathy Moo. You know, we've had some amazing people on as well this week. So, um, okay, so being almost an hour, can you believe it? Um, crystal bowls. You fancy doing a bit of that
I
now?
do.
Or is there anything
So,
else you'd like to add?
well, I'll do my third tip at the end.
Yes.
Um, with the crystal balls, I will be looking at the screen every now and then when I play them, and you need to gesture me if it's like that would be make it less loud, and that would be
Okay.
making loud.
Louder. Okay, my love. Yeah.
A bit of an anecdote about them. They are my Christmas present from my partner here. He's known. I've always wanted one crystal ball, and um, and I wanted to use them here at La Source, which is our retreat place. And he said he looked at them and he couldn't choose which one because they're one for the chakra.
Yeah, yeah.
He said I could. It was really hard, so he bought them all. I was like, what?
I remember when you got them, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
When I opened the box and I saw there were two big boxes under the tree, and it was like, I said, "Can I shake the boxes?" He said, "No, I wouldn't." I went, "All right." And then I opened one and I saw that there was like three balls in that one. I went, "Oh, that means what's in the other box?" He went, "Yeah." Oh, wow. So I got the 7. So I'll give you a
Wow.
chance to do all of them.
Yeah. What a
So
special treat. Thank you, Kalyani. This is like, I love it when things are not expected and they're just like, wow. Oh, my screen's gone off. I want crystal balls too. Me too. Take a deep breath, guys, and relax. Can't hear that one. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. Oh, I used to be laid in the middle of those while you're playing them. I used to do, when I was in the UK few years ago, I used to do sound healing with a friend of mine. She used to have the crystal bowls, and I used to do the shamanic drumming, and it was really powerful,
Mm,
mind blowing. Yeah, I love the crystal bowls.
very, very.
Simone says that's how her bands of power sounded like. So she's
Oh,
yeah, she has,
beautiful.
yeah. Uh, oh yeah, and George was saying the other day when we did the with Tiffany, I think it was, when we did the meditation to the maze, he was given a crystal bowl.
Mm.
Kathy, Maria Sweetens is, she got here late, sorry. Kathy says, yes, thank you, Kelly. Oh, lost it. Yes, thank you, Kalyani, and all the amazing speakers that have been here this week. Thank you for joining us. George says that was wonderful, thanks.
You're very welcome. Gift from my heart, the heart of the crystal beings. Yeah.
Yeah, special.
So for my third tip, Maria,
Okay, third tip, let's go for it.
I want to invite you, all of you, to explore that's called conscious self-pleasuring.
Right.
So, um, it's done on your own, and you bring into your hands the spirit of the beloved. It can be the divine beloved, it could be your own beloved, it can be the beloved you're calling towards you, but you let your hands become filled with that energy.
Yeah.
And then with your eyes closed, you let those hands come to you and to explore your body. And do it in a way that you really have a chance to deeply perceive how those hands are touching you.
Yeah.
And you can indicate to those hands, sometimes you want it lighter, sometimes you want a firmer, more holding touch.
Yeah.
But those hands of the beloved are really here to get you to feel love through being touched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love for yourself. That's so important at
Yeah.
this time. So to not forget yourself in calling that love for ourselves, and we have an abundant access to it, an infinite access to it.
Yes.
So
Wonderful.
that's a beautiful practice
Yes.
called the hands of the beloved.
Hands of the beloved. We like that. Um, I'm a crone now, Kalyani. I don't know if you know this. So I find all this really interesting now because, like, I have no sexual desire at all. My sex drive just switched off completely.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What about, because this is not meant to be sexual, it's
no,
meant to
no,
be
I know. No,
really
no.
presence to
Yes,
ourselves.
yes. That's why I like this.
Yeah.
I like that. Um,
Mm.
George says merci beaucoup.
De rien.
um, yeah, yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us today before we close up?
I would want to say that I think if you met somebody that rocked your boat, the fact that you are a crone would not mean that you have no desire, Maria.
Oh, well, that's highly unlikely that I'm going to meet anybody over here. So I need to move away from here. Um,
So thank you for
what?
inviting me and
No, Kalyani,
you
thank you,
came and
thank you for doing it with us. You know, I mean, it's
Thank
such
you.
an honour. I mean, all the people that
I'm
we've had.
Yeah, it's lovely to share and, talk about something I love deeply. And then people can connect with me on Facebook. And I also have an inner union group where we
Oh,
share more intimately. As in, we share something in the group daily.
yes.
So,
Um,
but we had to choose because everything I do is bilingual. So we chose the French name, which is Union Intérieure.
say that again.
Union Intérieure.
Union, Pantanier,
Interior, like
and
interior.
Terrier.
Yeah.
Nice.
But if people connect with me and then I can direct them to the right place.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Kalyani, thank you for doing this today. You are amazing. You are one of my most respected friends out there in the spiritual world. And like I said to our Helen the other day, we can't all be Greg Bradens, but we're all putting out good stuff out there, you know, and we're all doing a bit for humanity and for the planet. And I'm just in deep respect and honoured that our journeys have crossed, you know.
And
And
I
even
look forward
though
to welcoming you here, Maria.
I can't wait, seriously, when you said you were moving to south of France, I'm like, because it's on my to-do list, you know, places that I have to go pay homage to.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's, there's a really strong, for me, there's a really strong Christic energy around here in this particular place. And we are called to work more with that. And especially the energy of Mary Magdalene.
yes. Yeah, I know a lot of
And
people that work with Mary Magdalene now.
we had planned a pilgrimage from here, starting here as a week-long workshop, and we've had to cancel it for
Oh,
now, but we've
yeah,
decided to turn into an online offering to give people a feel, a taster for it,
yes,
so that that energy can start being awakened more in them because it's really strong here, and you would feel it here. So,
yeah. Can I just ask something? Does the oh God, I forgot what it's called now. The pilgrimage walk. What's it called? Through
yeah,
Spain.
the
Camino.
Camino of Santiago de Compostela. Yeah.
Does that come past through where you are?
Yes.
Do you know? I don't know why I knew that, but I knew that
Yeah, it's just at
because
the top of the hill.
see, I just
Yeah.
know that I've got to come there because the Camino is one of the things that has been on my to-do list for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So, all right, wow, okay.
Yeah.
See, nothing's ever a coincidence.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that together then when I finally get there.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe we could do a
Yeah.
stretch of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
yeah. Right, guys, we've gone way over today, and mind you, we started late though, didn't we?
We
So
did
I
a
just
bit.
want to, yeah, don't matter. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's joined us this week. Yeah, I know, I really appreciate my friends that have supported this. And please share the videos. Please like the videos. Subscribe if you've not subscribed already. Leave a comment on the video if you, mind you, most people have. I think this counts as well. Connect with Kalyani on social media if you want to know anything further. And if people want more of this kind of thing, then please let me know, and I will see who else we can bring on board. And if there's anybody you'd like to hear speak again, then let me know, and we can organise another day and another topic or whatever. So for now, I think we'll just close it off there. And namaste and lots of love to everybody. Kalyani, enjoy the spring and the
Namaste.
summer, and much love to you and your beloved and your beautiful daughters. I hope they're okay.
They're
Daughter,
very
I
well.
only know daughter.
Too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got two, but I think I've only met the one. I think.
Yeah.
Not sure. Yeah. Okay. Love you loads, Kalyani. Much love to you all.
Right.
Bye for now. Bye.